Hey guys, what's going on? In this video, we're going to be talking about network marketing PTSD, the dark truth about post-traumatic stress syndrome
It's disorder.
or post-traumatic stress disorder
Uh-huh.
of
Real,
network marketing.
yeah, we're about to share the real tea, the behind the scenes about network marketing that the network marketers do not talk about.
Network marketing PTSD, is that a real thing?
I think there's PTSD for anything that you put a name on,
Uh-huh.
right? As long as you have a post-traumatic
Mm-hmm.
symptom or feeling from it,
Mm-hmm.
it's post-traumatic,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to talk about this
hmm
because we love network marketing,
Yes, we
right?
do.
We've been in network marketing since 2000. Well, you've been in network marketing for a while. What was your first
Mhm.
network marketing company?
My first network marketing company, I think, was Avon.
Avon.
Yeah,
I think my first one was Cutco.
yeah.
I went for the
I
knives.
went to Avon.
Uh-huh.
Then I went to Lakes. I think it was Lakeside Jewelry. I went into a
Mm-hmm.
jewelry one, and then I went into. I think I had joined TLC at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a lot.
Yeah,
I was in a lot.
I do want to share this too. This is not, we're having this conversation as a little disclaimer. We love network marketing. We
Right.
respect it very much.
Mhm.
A good friend of ours, she said network marketing is like a mirror. They
Yes.
put a mirror in front of you
Mhm.
and it shows you who you are.
Correct.
It shows you your weakness, it
Mhm.
shows you your strengths,
Mhm.
and it shows you your flaws, and it shows you what you need to work on.
Right.
And you get rewarded for the work you put in.
Is my mic on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
And you get rewarded for the work you put in.
Right.
So in no detail is this a bash about network marketing.
No.
However, from our personal experience, would you say there's some stuff that we went through that we're like, oh snap, I need to get some therapy for that.
Definitely.
And we're working through it, but we're not just the only one, right?
Right.
We know people personally who they're working with it too.
Mhm.
So we wanted to kind of have this conversation and kind of shed that light on just the whole behind the scenes of network
Yeah,
marketing.
we have car rides all the
Hmm.
time, and me and Damo talks all the time about, different areas of our life. And, this one was this, network marketing trauma. We was like, man, should we talk about this?
Yeah. So we're
Because
gonna talk about it.
we don't want to seem like we're bashing, but we're not bashing. We're sharing our experience, and there's good and learning experience to everything.
Yeah. I
hmm
remember when I started taking network marketing seriously,
Right.
and it was in 2015,
hmm
the ending of 2015, because
hmm
I quit my job the last few months in 2014.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going to give them a 90-day notice
hmm
and I'm going to quit my job and become a personal trainer. Do you
Yeah.
remember that
Of
conversation?
course I do.
Okay. Felicia was, I think, like 6 months pregnant or maybe like 5 months pregnant.
I was between 4 and 5.
And I said, babe, I love you.
hmm
This Applebee's thing, it ain't working out.
hmm
And I want to let you know I am 90% good.
hmm
And there are going to be some days when I need that extra 10.
Correct.
And I promise you, if you just stick by me and
hmm
stick with me
hmm
and help me on those days, we're
hmm
going to be okay.
Right.
And that was 10 years ago.
Correct.
And you stuck by me ever since.
Correct.
So I love you and I appreciate you. And thank you
I love you too.
for giving me the patience and the room to grow because I
Right.
know it has been a bumpy ride.
Bumpy.
It
It's
has been a
been
bumpy.
rocky. It's been gravel. It's great though.
It's
It's
great
great,
though.
because it was beautiful. It's still
Yeah,
beautiful.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But I said, hey, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to become a personal trainer.
hmm
And I started personal training
Correct.
and it was going well, right?
Yes.
It was going well for what I expected, but there was also things that I did not expect.
Yes.
Like I did not expect to be driving up and down. I didn't expect to only get paid when I did a workout.
hmm
I didn't expect to be driving a client's house at 6 in the morning.
hmm
I'm undercharging,
hmm
right? Because I'm charging people $10 a session,
Right.
not knowing my worth, right?
Right.
I went through all of that.
Right.
and you came to me and you said, "Hey, there's this lady I need you to go meet."
Yes.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And I said, "I don't want to meet nobody.
Mhm.
I don't want to meet nobody." And you
Right.
said, "Go meet this lady."
Right.
And I said, "Why?" And
Mhm.
you remember what you said?
I don't remember what I said, but I knew like the behind the scenes of why I
Okay.
wanted you to meet the lady.
Yeah. He was like, used to drink these shakes and I
Right.
lost weight with my
Here's
first
the thing,
child.
right? So just to give some context, okay? Dama worked at Applebee's and I was a nurse. And I used to have, nurses, we always trying to lose weight. Okay? That's probably one thing that we speak about throughout. We need to lose weight. We need to do this. We need to do that. And when I was pregnant, when I had my first son and I came out of pregnancy and he was born and everything, I wanted to get back to the old Felicia, the nice slim Felicia. And so I wanted to be able to have supplements that taste good because the supplements out there don't be tasting good. And so somebody at my job ended up telling me about this company, go try it. And they were like across the street from my job. So I went into the place and I was loving it. I loved the way that the products taste. I loved it. And I also lost a lot of weight from it. And when Damo decided to leave Applebee's and he was already personal training, my entrepreneur self said, "Hey, you need to go meet with this person," because when I went into her shop, I told her, I said, my husband, he's a personal trainer. And she was like, "You should tell him to come and check us out." And I said, "Yeah, I will, because, he needs to make some more money." And she was showing me her checks and she was like making like over 30 grand a month. That was back in 2015. 2015. And I
Yeah.
was like, "You making all this money just, doing this? And it looked fun and everything." She was like, "Yeah." So I said, "Okay, cool. I'm going to go talk to my husband."
Yeah.
So I went home and I spoke
She
to
talked
Dom.
to me.
I said, "Damo, you need to go see this lady." I said, "You are a personal trainer. And if the people that you're training are going to always ask you, what should I eat? What should I do?" And I said, "I've taken their products. I love their products. So aside from the fact that this was an entrepreneur opportunity, I actually use the products. The products do work." And so I said, "Listen, go meet up with her, okay? Because she's bringing in like 30 grand a month. So you can still do your personal training, but the people who's asking you are going to ask you, what should I eat?" And you can easily tell them, "Hey, use these things," because they take your word as bond, because you got the body that you got and they trying to get to a certain body type too. And he was not trying to have it. He was like, "No, I'm good. Nah." And I was just like,
I already got my
"Babe."
6-star. I got my weight. I already got my GNC, my 10%.
Right. And I said to him, I said, "Yeah, but you're getting all of these things from Walgreens. You're getting it from Target. You're buying all of these things,
Muscle milk.
but you're not getting paid from these companies. I'm sharing with you that not only can you still have those things, but you can get paid for them too."
Yeah.
And it took him.
No, I went. It took me a couple of days.
It took him. You went like,
No. Well, it took me a couple of days.
right?
I went
Uh-huh.
and I got there. It was a shop, nice little shop. It was
Right.
cool. She took me downstairs, showed me around, gave me some tea, gave me a lift off. I didn't know what it was. It's Alka-Seltzer thing. I didn't even feel the difference at the time. And I was like, not for me.
Right.
And I came back home. I was like, yo, that lady tried to sell me a whole bunch of stuff.
Right. But she wasn't.
I was like, that lady tried to get me to a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, yeah, it's not for me. I don't even know why I said it's not for me.
I think what it is, there's just individuals who feel like they know that where they at is not 100% great. They know that they could do better. And then they get somebody who gives them advice and tell them, "Hey, go do this. This would probably add or make just, whatever you're looking for a little bit better." And they're just super apprehensive. Like, "Nah, you trying to get me." Ain't nobody trying to get you.
She was trying to get me.
You feel what I'm saying?
She was trying to get me.
So instead of him looking at it as, "Oh, this is an opportunity," I think what it is people don't like to be sold to. And I believe that you probably felt that you was being sold something.
She was trying to get me. And you said, go back.
Yes.
But it's not just go back. You said something to me.
Yes, I did.
You said, instead of looking at it as you're a personal trainer
Mm-hmm.
who happens to be doing Herbalife, because
Mm-hmm.
when I came back to you, I said, babe, okay, I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Supplements,
Mm-hmm.
people will buy from me.
Correct.
You said, change your mindset.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at this network marketing company, Herbalife, as a company where you're a personal trainer
Mm-hmm.
and you're selling supplements,
Mm-hmm.
switch that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it as you're a independent distributor, or
Mm-hmm.
you have access to a company that gives you supplements,
Mm-hmm.
like mass supplements
Mm-hmm.
that people want.
Yes.
And you just so happen to be a personal trainer.
Right.
And when you said that to me, something clicked.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, because at the same time, shout out to Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Mm-hmm.
In that book, he spoke about network marketing.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke about assets.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke about passive income.
Correct.
And he spoke about doing the work once
Mm-hmm.
and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
So when you said look at it as an asset
Mm-hmm.
that you're a part of,
Mm-hmm.
but you happen to be a personal trainer, which is like your brand seal,
Mm-hmm.
which will give people the push over the edge to want to use the products.
Mm-hmm.
Plus you're in shape.
Correct.
I think at the time I was like, I got in shape without using these products.
Correct.
So I don't need these products to get in shape because
Right.
I'm already in shape.
Yes.
And I think that was the got me part where I felt like she was trying to get me to say something that I didn't really do.
Correct.
So you said go back to her.
Yes.
And I said, okay, I don't want to, but I'll listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to her. And this time I went back to her. She didn't try to get me.
Mm-hmm.
This time she said, look, I understand your concern because you're already in shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you some stuff. Just use them and come back to me in a month.
Yeah.
And she gave me a whole care package.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me a bag. She gave me a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me protein bars. She gave me lift off. Looking back at it now,
Mm-hmm.
because I understood the price value,
Mm-hmm.
I think she gave me close to at least maybe $300-400 worth of products.
Mm-hmm.
Now I knew she was getting it for 50% off,
Mm-hmm.
but if I was looking at retail value,
Mm-hmm.
she gave me at least $300-400 worth of products.
Yeah.
And a bag,
Yeah.
and a shirt, which those are not products; those are merchandise that you
Mm-hmm.
either have to win or you have to buy them.
Correct.
And I came home, and I was like, she signed me up,
Mm-hmm.
and she gave me a whole bunch of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I think she actually paid for my sign up too.
Yeah, she probably did.
And,
No, she did.
Yeah, she.
We didn't pay for it.
Yeah, she sponsored me.
Right,
She said, I'm going to sponsor you. She took away all my risk.
Mm-hmm.
She took away all my risk. Which
Right.
pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. She took away all my risk.
Mm-hmm.
She took away all my risk. And that's something that we learned
Mm-hmm.
to do down in our network marketing career, which is sponsorship,
Correct.
where you take away somebody's risk.
Mm-hmm.
And there's pros and cons for it, because
Correct.
there's time when you pay for somebody and they don't do nothing.
Correct.
And there's times when you pay for somebody and they're like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's worth the investment.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I got no risk. And I got a whole bunch of products. So I come home.
Mm-hmm.
I go on Google,
Mm-hmm.
the NRGT. I start Googling it.
Mm-hmm.
Guarana, natural root extract,
Mm-hmm.
alert, mental focus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me try this. The green tea, the pomegranate tea, the lift off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, natural products,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of course, you can't say natural because once it's touched the lab,
Right.
it's no longer natural.
Mm-hmm.
But it does have some sources of health benefits to it.
Yeah.
And I use the products. And at the time, I was pretty in shape,
Mm-hmm.
but I ended up losing body fat like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up getting leaner and meaner and ripper.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and I recruited my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yo, try this
So
tea.
Damo, once he's in, he's fully invested. That's the strength that he has. He has the strength of, he'll do his research. Like, he will be a research junkie. Like, he's the person who will read the manual. You know that manual?
I read the Herbalife manual.
You know the manual that we just put to the side and nobody ever opens up?
I read the manual.
He is the person who will read the manual back to front and be like, the manual said boom, 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 boom. And he will remember everything. So once he is fully invested, he is fully invested, and he's going to give whatever he is doing 100%. Sometimes it could be very annoying, but I use that as, my power source.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He was fully invested in the company, and he used the product because, Herbalife's slogan is use, talk, wear. So he
Use Weird Talk,
definitely
yeah.
used Weird Talk.
Hmm.
Oh, whatever. So he definitely used the product, and he saw the results that he got from the product. And from that moment, it was a up. It was a
Yeah.
up.
It was we got a lot of testimonials from those products, and
Yeah.
even to today, we still use the products today.
Hmm.
And with Herbalife, we were able to help our community lose over 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
We did weight loss challenges back to back to back.
Hmm.
Some of my friends at the time, I helped them get transformation. Now, granted, I was still doing workouts,
Right.
but the products with the nutrition side
Hmm.
helps, because one of the biggest problems people have is nutrition.
Correct.
So not being able to worry about what to eat
Hmm.
helped out.
Yeah.
When did we start to see, like, I would say problems, or when did things really start to, I think, when do we see that, there's some dark things happening here
Hmm.
that is not really what it seems?
So
Or when was it for you? Did you see anything there when we was in Herbalife? When was
when
it?
we was in Herbalife, I didn't really see anything. Like our uplines was great,
Yeah, shout out
they
to her. Shout out to Brenda.
right. Our
Shout out to her.
uplines
Shout out to
were
Julissa.
phenomenal.
Shout out to Louis.
Right. They were phenomenal. So like when it came to our uplines, we didn't have any challenge. They were super supportive. We ended up opening our own shop
Yeah,
in Queens,
yeah,
in Laurelton. And it just became a challenge because when we opened the shop, we opened it with friends.
yeah,
And I believe that now that I can look back at it, everybody had their own vision, everybody had their own goal.
yeah,
And I remember, our upline, she said to us, when you're building a business, right, you can't have two
You
snakes,
can't have one snake with two heads.
one snake with two heads. And, we had to learn that the hard way because, we put a lot of trust into people, and they probably put a lot of trust into us. And we wasn't 100% personally developed to
Yeah,
understand certain emotions or certain things that was like going on. Because when you're in it, you don't see it. You feel
yeah,
me? And so it was just one of those situations that was just a huge learning experience for us. So it's not that the network marketing gave us trauma.
hmm,
It was going through it with friends and family
yeah,
that caused a lot of riffraff,
yeah,
that caused a lot of misunderstanding. There was lack of communication, and it was just, if we can go back being who we are now, a lot of those things would probably be just a conversation.
yeah,
So no, there was no network marketing trauma because at the end of the day, you're in business for yourself, but network marketing it makes you feel like you're not in business by yourself.
hmm,
And so you go through this entrepreneur journey, but in a bubble,
yeah.
if that makes sense, right? You go through this entrepreneur journey in a bubble with a group of people who have the same vision, the same mission, and so y'all going at it together. So I would say the only thing that might have been traumatic is once you're gun-ho in that environment that you're in, you don't see anything else.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a big one. You're in a bubble,
You're in
because
a bubble.
if you're not drinking these teas, you ain't it.
You ain't it. You know
You
what I'm
ain't
saying?
it.
If you ain't getting these volume points, like, you're not really making it.
Where your volume points for the month? You're not trying to get promoted? Oh, you
Right.
ain't it.
So it's a constant achievement race of going to the next level, going to the next level, which is a great thing. However, you could end up losing a sense of who you are because you're striving for the next thing, the next thing, the
Yeah,
next
the next
thing, the next
promotion,
thing,
the
right?
next customer.
The next customers, because it's all about recruiting, it's all about prospecting, it's
Volume
all about
points.
the points, it's all about getting paid, and that's business in general.
Yeah,
But then you're in a network marketing bubble where they have conventions, they have seminars, and you're just enthralled in this world of network marketing. And the outside people who are working their 9 to 5, in your mind, you're like, if you ain't in here, you whack.
yeah, you ain't it.
You
I
ain't
don't, I don't
it.
want to say what they say,
You what I'm
but
saying?
you
You
ain't
ain't
it.
it. So I would say it's not that it was a trauma effect, but what ended up happening is, being that that was the first company that we did together, we ended up losing friends. We ended up,
Hmm.
having like miscommunication, arguments, etc. It was kind of like the beginning of
Yeah,
our network marketing journey, because we went to a few other network marketings after that. We learned from that and moved on to the next when it was time for us to pivot. And we pivot because I'll be very transparent. When we opened our shop, we had our shop open for exactly a year. And when everybody in the shop was having their own, visions or, lack of communication, and we had to move on, we had to close the shop down. So me and Dominique couldn't physically manage the rent of the shop by ourselves, because we had the rent, and because we came in with two other partners, the rent was split in four. So it was just easier for us to manage, because we was in a high traffic area. And if you're in a high traffic area, that brick and mortar location was about like $3,000. That's not including the fact that we got to pay cable, light, water, etc. And so we couldn't take care of that by ourselves. So all the money that we were making in Herbalife, we were in, what was Herbalife? We wasn't Prez team yet.
We were in World Team.
We weren't World Team
Active
yet.
World Team.
We was getting there. And so because we didn't hit that financial breakthrough in Herbalife yet, it was just hard for us to manage the store, plus pay our own rent, plus we had kids by ourselves. That's why we decided to go into partnership anyway. Looking at it now, there's so many other things that we could have did. We could have rent out the space. We could have did so many other things, but we didn't know.
Yeah.
So we ended up closing the store down in a year. And that was when the trauma hit us.
Yeah. It's, looking back now, I think I did a lot of praying, a lot of just meditating on it and looking back. And I know you said something powerful. We weren't as personally developed as we are back then.
Right.
And I think our leadership level wasn't as strong back then as it is now.
Correct.
Even now, I still feel like I could have done some stuff different.
Of course.
Right. I'm not perfect. It takes two. And not being a victim, I'll never be a victim. So I'll always say there's more stuff that I could have done.
Correct.
Looking at it now, I do see some of the things starting to grow. Like, we're going to reveal to you guys 5 dark truths about network marketing, right? Things that lead to trauma or things that lead to PTSD. And one of the dark truths was there's a lot of recruitment pressure in network marketing. It started there because we were always looking for our next customer. We were always looking for who's going to be your next distributor, so you can get a promotion. And whenever you talk to people, they have this sign above their head and you're making a pitch.
Right.
Instead of building a relationship, you're always constantly making a pitch.
Yeah.
And if somebody don't sign up, this person's a loser. Right? Because they don't want to win. They don't want to be number one. They don't want to change their life. They don't want to make money. They don't want to make passive income. They don't want to get healthy.
That's the trauma right there. The trauma right there is you have to have really, because when you're not personally developed, you could take in the good air and you could take in the bad. So if you don't have the right people around you, it's easy for you to take in the bad. And what I mean by that is, you're like Dominique just said, they got a sign above the head, and if they don't sign, you're a loser, you're this, you're that, compared to if you had a person who was, above you, sharing what you know. Don't look at them like that. They might not be ready. They might not be for Herbalife, but that doesn't mean that you don't build a relationship with them.
Right.
And so
be their friend.
You could just simply be their friend. You just never know when somebody might come around, or they might not come around, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have the right people around you in the environment, it's easy to be boggled down and just think like, oh, not that you're better than them, but you're better than them.
Yeah, you feel like you're better than them because you're like, this person ain't even reading. They're not going to no conference. They're not doing no personal development. This person is, they just not it.
Right.
And
that's because
you're not it.
Right. You're not it.
You're not it because you're judging and you're casting stone and talking about what's in other people's eye.
Correct.
Not realizing that who wants to work with somebody who criticizes people for not doing what you want to do?
Correct.
But that's what we were doing. So this is a PTSD moment where later down in life, I got to realize everybody's on their own path.
Correct.
Everybody is fully equipped. everybody is functionally equipped
Mm-hmm.
to do and be
Mm-hmm.
who God created them to be.
Correct.
And maybe this is not their path,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean you downgrade somebody or
Mm-hmm.
belittle somebody or make them feel small
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't say yes to your network marketing opportunity.
Correct.
And that's what a lot of network marketers do. They
Mm-hmm.
come back to the office and they throw shade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I used to do it, right? I used to be like, yo, they weren't born in June. They weren't born in June.
Right.
And not knowing that, hey, that person could have been a friend
Yeah.
for something else. Or not
Correct.
just for something else, because it's not about what can people do for you,
Mm-hmm.
it's what you can do for people.
Correct.
And we didn't really understand friendship farming,
Mm-hmm.
or we didn't understand love people and use the money.
Correct.
We were more so loving money
Mm-hmm.
and trying to use people to get the money.
Correct.
Unconsciously, because
Right.
we didn't know we were doing it.
Right. So we
as
weren't
got
mean
them.
people.
We weren't mean, yeah.
It's just that they talk about mindset all the time. No matter what network marketing company you go into, they talk about mindset all the time. It's cool to talk about mindset, but then if you have the people in your environment, imagine them having the mindset, reading the books, but they're not actively doing what's in the books.
Yeah.
And so you're around an environment of people who are using what's in the books to their advantage that doesn't necessarily align with the human nature.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so you think that, oh, I'm reading this book and they talk about lid level and you're supposed to be here and I'm supposed to be there. But the book didn't say to be arrogant. The book didn't say for you to talk to anybody anyway. The book didn't say for you to speak about people behind their back or just make people feel isolated.
Yeah.
Or, build your own clique. So it's like you take what's in the book, but then you apply it to whatever fits your feelings and your emotions right now. And it's one of those things that if there was one thing that I would say for like the first trauma thing is just make sure that when they say to work on mindset, that you give a holistic approach to mindset.
Yeah.
Not just a half-ass approach to mindset.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people are human.
Yeah.
People have their own things that they go through.
Yeah.
People have the right to say no. People have the right to make a decision. People are not supposed to be going down your path because you think your path is the best path.
Yeah, everybody on their own.
Right? So it's like, if you decide to join into network marketing, just be aware of who you're joining, the team that you're joining into, and also be aware of how they are. In real life, they always say just observe your environment.
Mm-hmm.
If they're doing this behind closed doors to someone else, they'll do it to you too.
Yeah.
So what goes in personal life goes in business too.
Yeah. It's interesting you said that, because that's leading us into dark truth number 2,
Mm-hmm.
which is unrealistic promises.
Right.
I think we started to see this more in our second company,
Right.
because our second company, we went into a financial company
Mhm.
where we did insurance and investments,
Right.
Primerica.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing company, amazing products, and we met some amazing people.
Yes.
Also, it was in this company or personal development kind of
Went to the growth. Yeah.
because you're selling invisible products.
Mm-hmm.
So you now have to lead people more with mindset,
Correct.
right? Whereas we were selling supplements, it's like, hey, drink the tea, you feel the results immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, you're buying the Rule of 72 through this mutual fund,
Mm-hmm.
or you're buying insurance.
Mm-hmm.
When do you actually see the fruits of that labor?
Correct.
You're actually leading people now, and we're talking about money. So now your personal development level have to rise up,
Mm-hmm.
because you're dealing with a different type of clientele.
Correct.
You're dealing with homeowners. You're dealing with kids. You're dealing with people's financial future.
Yeah.
So now your lid level has to rise up.
Correct.
And what I saw was there were times where if you don't have that lid level, you would make an unrealistic promise and sell the lifestyle because you think that people are attracted to that lifestyle. A famous Brooklyn rapper once said, if you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son.
I have 99 problems, but making money online ain't one.
Yep, absolutely. Listen, if you're in a relationship, what happens is the husband takes 40 hours and he goes to the left, Wife takes 40 hours and she goes to the right. That's a combined 80 hours that leave the house. Now it's cool because you bring home some income, but you're using your time and your energy and your strength to build somebody else's business. Now, what if there was a way you could come together with your partner and you could generate income online where you're doing it in half the time, you're not burning out, and you're able to still build a legacy for your kids? We want to help you with that.
Or even if you're just a couple who's just looking for an environment of like-minded other couples who are already in the entrepreneur space, but you just can't find the environment to be in, we are so excited because we created the Entrepreneur Couple Club. And guess what? It is absolutely free. It has been kind of challenging for us as a couple to go into spaces, and we usually only see the wife or we usually only see the husband, but we never see them together. So we decided to create a space where we can network, learn together, grow together, talk about everything under the sun that actual couples and partnerships actually go through, so that you can feel like there's a space for you too.
Yeah, our goal for the Entrepreneur Couple Club is to help you build a strong partnership in life and in business.
And listen, if you never really thought about being in business with your partner, but we just brought that idea up, join anyway, because you'll come and learn the gems, and possibly why not build a legacy business? Why not? You're already together 24/7, most likely, right? So let's learn how to build a business together, bring in some extra income at home. So if you want to leave the 9 to 5 or you want another secure bag, we got you.
And guess what? There's a free quiz that teaches you your entrepreneur couple score. All you have to do is click the link below in the description and you'll be on your way. Peace. So dark truth number 2 we spoke about was unrealistic promises, right? And we said going into our second company, we saw a lot of people making this mistake where they were selling people the world. They were telling them, you can make $500 an appointment, $500 in half an hour. You don't need to go to a job where you're getting paid $15 an hour when you can come make all that money over here, right? And a lot of times this is just not true, right? It's not true.
It's true to a certain degree.
It's not fully true because they're basically leaving out the work, right? They're not telling people that you have to be disciplined, you have to be consistent, you have to be committed, you have to show up, you have to learn the skills and learn the process. And now what ends up happening is people are overselling you a dream. They're selling you a dream that, just like in the real world, right? 95% of people fail financially. It's the same thing in network marketing. 95% of people don't make it, right? And we saw this a lot where people were overselling the dream. And then when people came in, they're like, hey, you told me, you're going to be with me all the way. You told me that if I called you, you're going to pick up the phone. You told me that you're never going to leave me alone. You told me that you got my back. And then when you stop showing up for these people, they feel betrayed.
Right. And the interesting thing is, at least for most individuals who is in that leadership position, they don't stop showing up for the people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like accountability that the actual person themselves are not taking, and they kind of just want to be babied through the process.
Yeah.
You understand? So there's a thin line between that, because it's not to say that the leaders ain't doing their job.
Yeah.
So it's a thin line between with that. However, yes, the unrealistic expectation of, listen, you come into this company in like 6 months, you're gonna be able to do this and that, and you realize like, yeah, it's 6 months, but it's 6 months of like grit and grind. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're not somebody who are naturally like seasoned in that area, then you forgot that it's also grit and grind for you to get your mind and your body there too.
Right.
Yeah, you can get there in 6 months, but there's like grit and grind that goes into that. And it's really all about marketing.
Yeah.
It's all about marketing. It's all about how you position yourself to be like the go-to person for whatever it is that you're selling in your company, etc. And we weren't naturally born to market. So this is something that you have to learn.
Yeah.
Marketing and sales is a skill. And for some people, your learning curve could be quick, and for some people it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, with you touching on that, with this unrealistic promises, there was a lot of times that I would meet somebody that didn't come from the right market, and I would tell them, "Hey, you can still win." Now, I wasn't lying. You can still win, but they had work to do because they didn't have a market for the first few appointments.
Correct.
So now they got to go prospecting. Now they got to deal with the word no. Now they got to deal with rejection. Now they got to deal with that mental effort of, is it me? What am I doing wrong? Compared to somebody who's winning right next to me. But the person who's winning right next to you they're macho. They're married, adult, children, homeowner with occupation of 50,000 or more. So they have better credibility.
Or even the fact that they may not necessarily be macho, but they know how to find the right people. They know how to find the ambitious people, the money motivated people, the people who just want whatever it is that they got to offer.
Yeah. So, that's something that we saw, which was, you have to watch out for that you're not being oversold a dream. They talk about hanging the carrot in front of the horse.
Right.
You're always chasing the next promotion, always after the next thing.
Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing to go to the next level, to want to go to the next level, because that's what life is about. It's about progression. Once you stagnant and stuck, you're dead.
Yeah.
So it is about that. It just becomes a challenge when you're so blinded on just that, that left or right doesn't matter. And then you realize, like, I just missed out on a whole bunch. And this happens to 9 to 5 people too.
Yeah.
It's not just network marketing. So we are talking about network marketing, but it's just like you can't. There's a good and a bad between everything, and then there's a middle point. Always try to stay in the middle point, because you could be very good.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to stay in the middle point of mediocrity.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just more. Take that point. It's just more of figuring out your lane, and don't fall deceptive to the luxury of what people are trying to sell you, and make it think that it is easy.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's sometimes not easy.
Yeah.
Not to say that easy do not exist.
Yeah.
We learned that easy exists.
Yeah.
But in the network marketing, it's simple to learn the strategies, but to get there, depending on where you're coming from, may not be so easy. Yeah. And I'm talking about the learning curve of it.
Yeah, and we're going through the same thing now in the make money online space, because even on social media, people are selling a lifestyle, and you may tap in and get in, and you're struggling and you're wondering why it's not working for you. And that's the part about it. I like, tell people what it is, which is kind of being authentic. You're not being a bait and switch. You're not telling people, hey, we're gonna make so much money, we're gonna be so rich. Yeah, you could sell them the dream, but also sell them hey, this is gonna require for you to be a new person. You're gonna have to change. You're gonna have to transform. You're gonna have to start hitting the gym. You're gonna have to start reading the books. You're gonna have to come to training. And I think a lot of times in the beginning, when you're in desperation trying to recruit somebody, which is the recruitment pressure, you tell the people who you're talking to unrealistic promises, and you don't give them the work lane because you want to give them only the good of it.
Correct.
Right.
You tell them about the top 1%ers.
Yeah.
And you let them know what those 1%ers are doing. So and so is making 50K a month.
Yeah.
But you ain't telling them that so and so started making 50K about 2 years ago, and they have been in the business 6.
Right. They went through ups and downs.
They went through their fair share of getting to where they are. Yes, you do have some anomalies. You do have some people who come in and in 6 months banged it out.
Yeah.
You do have some people who came in and in a year, less than a year, they banged it out. However, if you go speak to those people, there's something that different that they did that the regular people, or the people who's doing it the way that they're doing it ain't doing.
Yeah.
They maybe they work 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Maybe they knew the right people. Maybe they knew how to market. So it's just like they have something that they may have done that's a little bit different than what you're doing.
With you saying that brings us into the dark truth number 3, which is relationship strain. One of the things that we discovered, that the top 1%ers, they knew how to build relationship. Right. Compared to somebody who's brand new, they were straining relationships. Like, I remember to me, my first couple months, everybody looked like a nail. And what do you do when you have a hammer in your hand and you see a nail? You want to hammer it in. So everybody looked like a new recruit.
Right.
Everybody looked like a new prospect. You go to dinner, you go to a birthday party, you go to a restaurant, you go to the car wash, you go to the waitress, everybody.
You're walking in Walmart, you're like, let me bump into this
Always be
cart.
ABC, always, always,
Right.
always looking for somebody, always be closing. But what you don't realize is you're straining your relationships with people, because now when people say no to you or they're not interested, you automatically put them in a bucket that, oh, this person don't want to win. This person's a loser. This person don't care. And that's the programming that this company, that network marketing kind of puts on people, where if you're not with us, you're against us.
Correct.
Right?
So it's very important that, you know, you are aware of the type of team or group of partnership that you're in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we had to learn that the hard way, because, you know, we were those people.
Yeah.
You know, we were those people who first of all, on the regular, we don't go out there like having conversations with people about anything. You know, I'm an introvert, so I'm not gonna go speak to a stranger about stuff. You understand?
Yeah.
And so now you come into a company who says, listen, your family and friends ain't gonna get you there. So you need to learn to friendship farm. You need to learn to build relationships.
Yeah.
And so now you find yourself building relationships, not even in the authentic way. Because if you're building relationships authentically, it's like, I really want to get to know the person because of who the person is.
Yeah.
You're building relationship because you got to fill this top 30 sheet of who it is that you prospected for the day that would be possibly open to the opportunity. Now, granted, the opportunity is a great opportunity. The opportunity could change your life. The opportunity could be the answer to their cure of, I need extra money. I need this. I need that. Granted, but you know, authentically, initially, you're not going there to be friends. You're going there with a subtle interest of, I possibly want you to join the team. I possibly want us to make money, and you know, whatever is in line with all of that. So then you go in there trying to prospect, getting names and numbers, and then you realize, like, if the person ain't doing what they're supposed to do on how you're teaching them how to do it, or if they're like, this ain't for me, you're just like, oh, you just want to be broke. It's all good. You're part of the 95. You're not part of the one. Yeah. And that's not how you're supposed to be approaching them, because at the end of the day, they could be in their lane, working their 9 to 5, and love what they do. Yeah. And not being subconsciously not being respectful of it, because you were a part of an environment who said that the 1%ers want to win and the 95 don't.
Yeah, you know, this you saying that brought me back to an experience where I had a relationship strain with a friend of mine, where, you know, I introduced him to the company and I'm like, hey, I'm pivoting over here. Check this out. And the person was like, nah, I don't want to rock with you because you're a quitter. And I'm like, what? I'm a quitter? What makes me a quitter? Because you quit. And I'm like, but I didn't quit my goals and dreams though. Like, my goals and dreams are still the goals and dreams that I've always had. I'm just, because of my opportunity, I'm just moving on. Right. And when you look at that, when somebody goes to a job and they leave one job and go to a better job, we don't call those people quitters.
Correct.
When somebody leaves one relationship and go to another relationship, we don't call them quitters. Right. But in network marketing, if somebody don't want to do business with you, they're automatically a quitter. And, you know, one of the things I've learned from that is love the people, use the company, and the money. Because companies can come and go, but the relationships you get, they're not always relationships that will show up in your life. Right? Yeah, relationships come and go too, but there are some relationships that you probably blew or messed up because somebody didn't want to join your company. And I know, transparently speaking, that's a mistake that I made, where there are people who call me for Super Bowl and I'm like, unless we talking about insurance and this, I'm not coming to no Super Bowl, because a whole bunch of losers gonna be there celebrating people who already win. Now that was a little extreme, because I could have went to the party, enjoyed myself, and go home.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I stopped building my business, but I completely cut all of those people off and say they want to watch people winning already, and only losers watch people winning. and cheer from the
It was
sideline.
so intense.
It was so,
It was
you know,
intense, and it was intense. Like when you're in that world, you don't think that it's that deep, but it is
yeah,
when you're out of it.
yeah,
You know, and like we always say, we love network marketing. We still do. If I
yeah,
find a good company, I might join again.
yeah,
However, it's just be careful of the messages that you're receiving
yeah.
and how they can be so contradicting
hmm
that it's just a thin line for you to go to the other side.
You start abusing your relationships. You start
Right,
neglecting people, which
right,
without people you can't build anything.
right.
And it just shows that from the beginning you only cared about you.
So dark truth number 4 is the financial reality of being in network marketing.
Yeah.
Usually, and this is us me speaking from experience, a lot of time when you join network marketing because of
hmm
the dream of being wealthy, of just being a team player, the dream, the accolades, the just the winning experience. And usually when you go in broke,
hmm
or you go in not in a financial position that you want to be. And so you go into network marketing because you plan to gain that financial security, financial independence from doing whatever it is that you have to do. And for us, going into network marketing, we went into it broke.
Yeah.
We went into it broke. We went into it in a desperate state of I want financial breakthrough like yesterday. And you don't realize that once you're in it, like you're sacrificing. So like, the office that we used to have to travel to was like an hour away from where we lived. Then, where we had to travel, we had to pay toll. And then we used to get like orange envelopes stacked
hmm hmm
every 2 days because of the going back and forth toll. Of course, if you're a team player, you're carpooling and you're picking up
hmm
other team mates. You're if you ain't got a car, you're using somebody else's car, or
hmm
if you ain't got a car, you taking the bus in the snow and you're
Yeah.
doing certain things. And
Train.
we're from New York, and so it's like there's a lot of sacrificing, financial sacrificing. So there's financial sacrificing, there's emotional sacrificing, there's physical sacrificing that
hmm
you do
hmm
to get to the next level of where you're
Yeah.
trying to get to. And so it's like, I think I heard the term, is the juice worth the squeeze,
Yeah.
right? So it's just one of those things where you're gonna have to sacrifice no matter what.
Yeah.
9 to 5, network marketing, entrepreneurship, sacrifices have to be made.
Yeah.
Just make sure that when you're doing these sacrifices that you're in line with who you are and where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
Because you can easily, after doing all those sacrifices and not be where you are, end up being resentful, end up feeling certain type of way about people
hmm
when at the end of the day it was up to you.
Yeah. That's a big one because you're paying for events, you're going out of town, you're paying for hotels, you're leaving your kids. And earlier I shared with you guys, 95% of people in network marketing don't make it. So you sacrificed all of that and then you have nothing to show financially at the end of the journey. Yeah, you got some nuggets. Yeah, you got some notes. Yeah, you worked on your mindset and you met some people. But those people now look at you as a quitter. So you already got excommunicated. You don't got no friends in that business anymore and you have nothing to show for it. So it's like now you paid a price and you have nothing to show for it, especially if you're from an environment where people look bad at the people who don't stick around,
Right.
right? From the network marketing company we came from, I'm trying to see, I don't get a lot of phone calls from the people who I worked with.
No.
You know, shout out to a couple of people who we're still very good friends with. And that's because I think those people genuinely understand that you have to build relationships with people to build your business, not build your business and use people,
Right.
right? So we still have a relationship there, but there's a financial cost that, if you have an office, rent, if you have to buy merchandise, if you have to buy products or supplies, if you have to stay in business, which it is a business cost, right? It is because network marketing is a business. You're an
Right.
independent business owner. So you do have a business cost and your business costs may not be as big as a store rent, insurance, and all of those things, but you are paying a price.
Correct.
And like Felicia said, you're going to pay a price regardless. I just, one of the dark truths about network marketing is people don't really tell you that price up front.
Correct.
Right? And I think that they could maybe be more mature about how they look at you and just tell you what it is.
Yeah,
right?
We had to learn that, your upline has a financial interest in you.
Yeah.
Right? And the financial interest in most network marketing, what's the slogan, right? I want to see you win, because when you win, I win.
Yeah.
Right? Which is true.
Yeah.
100%. It's like the best feeling in network marketing is when you bring somebody on board and you probably didn't make a dime, but they did.
They making money.
They making money. And it's like, I'm so happy that I was able to be a part of the fact that you was able to generate this income to go take care of what you got to take care of.
Yeah.
That's like the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have people or uplines who they know that you're a financial interest for them, and they present themselves as, not only do I have a financial interest in you, but I care about you, and they don't.
Yeah.
What they care about is the financial
interest
that they have in you.
Right.
And it's okay. It's okay that they don't care. I used to always tell Damo, I don't mind that, you have a financial interest in me, but don't put out this family front and really you just have a financial interest.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I don't, a lot of time, I guess they just don't know how to deliver it. They want to deliver the package without taking the bits and pieces that holds true to them. And so that's why you got to really be grounded in who you are.
Yeah.
Because you can't come into network marketing and think that's going to be mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
You come into network marketing with a business mindset.
Yeah.
Because once you're operating from a business mindset, that not to take nothing personal.
It's not personal, it's just business.
It's business.
Yeah.
Right. And if you happen through the process to build a relationship that is like more than financial interest, that becomes a plus.
Yeah.
Compared to you going into it with a personal fulfillment and not a business fulfillment.
Yeah.
And then now you feel betrayed, you feel hurt, and then you resent.
That's so good. Yeah. Listen, that one's gonna bring us into dark truth number 5, which is not building a personal brand along the way.
Come on now.
And Felicia will tell you this may not be for everybody, because some people are just like, I'm here for network marketing and that's it. Mm-hmm. But one of the things we learned is, build a personal brand along the way. Mm-hmm. Because one of the things they say in network marketing is people don't join businesses, they join people. Right. But what happens when the people you join decide to pivot? Right. Notice I didn't say quit, because your uplines are never going to quit. Right. Your uplines are going to pivot for opportunity that benefits them. Mm-hmm. Listen, if you're in a relationship, what happens is the husband takes 40 hours and he goes to the left. Wife takes 40 hours and she goes to the right. Mm-hmm. That's a combined 80 hours that leave the house. Now it's cool because you bring home some income, but you're using your time and your energy and your strength to build somebody else's business. Now, what if there was a way you could come together with your partner and you could generate income online, mm-hmm. where you're doing it in half the time, you're not burning out, and you're able to still build a legacy for your kids? We want to help you with that.
Or even if you're just a couple who's just looking for an environment of like-minded other couples who are already in the entrepreneur space, but you just can't find the environment to be in, we are so excited because we created the Entrepreneur Couple Club. And guess what? It is absolutely free. It has been kind of challenging for us as a couple to go into spaces, and we usually only see the wife or we usually only see the husband, but we never see them together. Mm-hmm. So we decided to create a space where we can network, learn together, grow together, talk about everything under the sun that actual couples and partnerships actually go through, mm-hmm. so that you can feel like there's a space for you too.
Yeah, our goal for the Entrepreneur Couple Club is to help you build a strong partnership in life and in business.
And listen, if you never really thought about being in business with your partner, but we just brought that idea up, mm-hmm. join anyway, because you'll come and learn the gems, and possibly why not build a legacy business? Mm-hmm. Why not? You're already together 24/7, most mm-hmm. likely, right? So let's learn how to build a business together, bring in some extra income at home. So if you want to leave the 9 to 5 or you want another secure bag, we got you.
And guess what? There's a free quiz that teaches you your entrepreneur couple score. All you have to do is click the link below in the description and you'll be on your way. Peace. All right, guys. So welcome back. We are on Dark Truth number 5, right?
Yes.
Which is in network marketing, they don't encourage you to build a brand. And what's interesting about that is, we said people don't join businesses, they
Right.
join people,
Correct.
right? But what happens when the people you join pivot, right? I didn't say quit because nobody usually quits. Your
Right.
upline not going to quit. Your
Correct.
mentor, your coach who's making 5, 6, 7 figures a month, they're not going to quit, but they will pivot.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that because there's a better opportunity, right? Who am I to tell you that don't go for that better opportunity? But what do you do when you join the business because somebody said, hey, I'm going to show you the ropes. I'm going to take you through the process and I got your back.
Right.
And then 2 months into the business, that person pivots and goes to another company. What do you do?
Man, listen. It all stems back from what I said from the beginning. Number one, know who you are, right? And don't go into business necessarily for the people. Go into business for your goals and dreams. So now, whoever decides to go about their goals and dreams, there is no feeling of, hey, like I'm supposed to make it because of you. No.
Yeah.
You're supposed to make it because of you, not because of who brought you in the business, not because of who signed you up for the business. You were supposed to make a decision for yourself that this is the business that I want to generate the passive income, or I want to do whatever it is that your goal is set out to do.
Yeah.
So what we learned from going from different companies is it was very important, I'm going to say this again, for us to build that personal brand. If you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur, if you're a creative, if you're the type of individual that do not want to be put in a box and you feel that you have more to do in your lifespan than just be in one company, then that means that you need to focus on building your business brand or your personal brand. Because what ended up happening is we went into different businesses and we end up getting different titles.
Yeah.
So we were into the health space, which made us, health coaches. Then we went into the insurance space, which made us financial agents. Then we went into the trading space, which made us traders.
Yeah.
And all of those things were just multiple streams of incomes that we wanted to tap into. If we had built our brand, our personal brand, or our business around, hey, we are Dominique and Felicia, and we show people how to generate multiple streams of income, whatever business that we decided to go into, nobody would look at us sideways and be like, yeah, but weren't you just doing this and weren't you just doing that?
Yeah.
So we learned through the process, through our experience, that we should have built our brand from the beginning.
Yeah, that's so good because you don't seem wishy-washy. You don't seem like you're starting one thing and you're not finishing it. You don't seem like you're on this side of the fence today and tomorrow you're on this side of the fence. Because now when you build your brand from the beginning, your brand represents a story. Your brand represents a vision that you have. Your brand represents, the things that you're going after in life and the value you want to bring to the table.
Right.
So now when somebody hears that, hey, Dominique and Felicia, hey, what they're about is they're about just empowering people to make money outside of their 9 to 5, or they're just about helping people make money. It doesn't matter what we do, whether we decide to go into real estate, whether we decided to sell cars, whether we decide to get up one day and say, hey, we want to do tax liens. We've always been focused on helping people create income online.
Correct.
So more so, instead of pivoting from a what you do, you don't really have to pivot. You've just built foundational blocks on who you are.
Exactly. And it's because here's what happened, and this is transparency moment. What ended up happening is that, we would join these companies that were phenomenal companies, and we made money with these companies. We've had teams, we've built big teams, and they also made money too. Like nobody really have anything bad to say about us as leaders, as coaches, etc.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening when it was the season for us to pivot, And I know like pivot is thrown out there and many people like the word, many people don't. I'm going to share with you that pivot is the word for us. Okay. We had to pivot because at that time, for each of those seasons that we were in where we had to close the door, God said so.
Yeah.
You know, we are praying people. So God said so. God said, close the door. And He made it that when the door was closed, there was no way that we can walk back into it.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Yeah.
And we know that we were aligned with our purpose, our mission, and our vision because the next door that was open happened and did it so with ease.
Yeah.
Right? It was just like, no, this is where you're supposed to be at this time. I understand. Now, when each of those doors closed, it was hard. We had to deal with mental, emotional, even physical, I guess, trauma.
Yeah, that's the network marketing trauma or the network marketing PTSD because you built an identity on the company you're in, and you built an identity on who you are based on what you do in the company versus building an identity on who God said you to be.
Preach
right?
that.
Having
Hey, can
dominion.
you repeat that again? Repeat that again. Okay.
The challenge is when you're in network marketing, you build your identity based on the company and what you do in the company compared to building your identity around who God called you to be and being in that purpose. So it's like, hey, this is who I am. I just happen to be in this company, right? So you have your priorities kind of like crisscrossed. And
right.
so now when you lose that but it's not just in network marketing too. People do at a job.
Of course.
Like you may be, who are you? I'm a teacher. And then when you no longer teach, you've lost your identity, right? You could be, hey, I'm a mechanic, or hey, I work for this Fortune 500 company, or I'm a stock trader, and then you get fired from that job. It's like you've lost your identity.
And you got a lot of times when those big momentum moments happen in your life, you end up having to go find out who you are.
It's like a midlife crisis.
Right, because your identity was so into what you were doing that you lost like exactly who you are. And so that's why it's very important, no matter, you know, from this moment, as you hear, you know, this podcast, this YouTube, it's very important for you to understand what your vision, your mission, and your values are.
Yeah.
Because you will move accordingly based off of those things. It don't matter what job title, job position that you're in, you're just going to move accordingly. Because if your mission was like, listen, I'm trying to create generational wealth, it don't matter what pocket that you go into, you'll still be able to create generational wealth. There's different ways of doing it, and you won't feel that you lost yourself in the process.
Yeah, there's a I forgot what was a podcast I was listening to, and they were talking about branding, and I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but he talks about the one sentence tagline, and they were saying a great example of this is Volkswagen, and he was saying Volkswagen's goal is just to make safe cars. Like their goal is just to make the safest cars in the world.
Okay.
So if it aligns with a safe car, they're for it. If it doesn't align with a safe car, they're not for it.
Correct.
So when you have a value for your life or a mission for your life, some things are for you and some things are not for you. You just don't have to debate about that.
Correct.
That's what having a brand is. Having a brand is basically saying, these are the values that my life represent. These are the things that I want in my life. These are the people that I want in my life. These are the type of content that I want to post. These are the things that I want to be known for. This is the story that I want to tell with whatever I'm doing.
Right.
And that's basically what you're standing on, because you have an expectation of everything that you do to meet an end goal. And I do want to put this out there, right? This is an interesting video because in this video, we're talking about the dark truth behind network marketing and how network marketing traumatized us, right? But with that being said, I want to shout out everybody who we came in contact with, all the mentors, all the coaches we've had, all the friends we've met, because we still have friends to today that we've met in network marketing that we would not have met without them. We've learned from a lot of people. We would not have met them without network marketing.
Right.
There's still a lot of people who we're friends with, a lot of lessons learned. I mean, a lot of the books we got on these bookshelves back here were recommended to us from somebody in network marketing.
Right.
Like we went to an event and a coach was like, hey, get this book, get this book, get this book. So shout out to everybody in that. And, you know, one of the things that we'll say is like, network marketing is a great opportunity. It gives you a start for minimal cost. It gives you access to mentorship, access to coaching. It gives you access to personal growth. And like we said earlier, network marketing put a mirror in front of you and it shows you who you are. Right. So whether you win or lose, it's based on your production. On the same side, that's not who you are. That's just what you do.
Correct.
So we went over the 5 dark truths, but you still have to find out who you are and who your identity is, and you have to build on that.
Right. And just to add to that, like when we speak about pivoting, right, there's a thin line between pivoting and quitting, right? So pivot means that you already kind of have your mission, your vision aligned, and you're still moving towards the end goal or the future goal of where you're trying to go. And so you can operate a different vehicle to get there. That doesn't mean that you quit what you were doing. You just are operating a different vehicle to get there.
Yeah.
And then there's called quitting. Quitting is getting to a place where you joined a company and then maybe it was too hard for you. Maybe you didn't like the people that was in there. Maybe you wasn't feeling the vibe of the environment and you decided, this ain't for me. And then now you just stop in general. And then you stop and then you go retry to figure it out and join another one that maybe had better people or whatever. That is quitting.
Yeah.
You understand? So pivoting and quitting are two different things. So really be careful if you're the individual who's just like, not to say that you're a quitter, but if you are constantly quitting things because of outside expectation or outside reasons compared to you, this happens all the time, or outside reasons outside of you holding yourself accountable, then you really kind of need to like sit down, look within yourself and figure out, why is it that I'm always like, just leaving or flat leaving and not finishing what I started, because that's something that's a little bit more internal.
Yeah.
So when you have your goal, your vision, your mission, that means that you're still going to the goal, but there's a thin line between pivoting and quitting.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that.
Yeah. The hurdles are still going to be there regardless, because the hurdles are within you. It's not external. It's a challenge within you.
Right.
Guys, with that being said, if you're watching this and you're taking something from this, if one of those dark truths align with you or you can resonate with that, let us know in the comment what it is. Let us know if it's the recruitment pressure, the unrealistic expectation goals, the relationship strain, whether it's the financial reality strains, or it's not building a personal brand. Let us know in the comment which one of those things resonate with you. And with that being said, world boss baby Grace just woke up and she just breached the set. As you can see, she breached the set.
Say good morning to the people.
Just woke up and just breached the set. So with that being said,
good morning.
Say hi.
Hi.
With that being said, we're going to wrap this up here. Guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. We are the Entrepreneur Couple. My name is Dominique, and this is my beautiful wife, Felicia. And our goal is basically to empower you to go out there and be the best version of yourself, to win in personal life and in your business. So we hope that this video brought you some value. And if you got something from this, let us know in the comments what you got, and we'll see you guys next Thursday. All right. Peace.
Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.
Looking for more tips on how to build your purpose-driven business? Be sure to check out our Money Making Secrets playlist at the top right-hand corner of the screen.
Or you can check out our most recent uploaded video right below.
Enjoy. See you soon.